Have you heard of this thing that people say, a beverage goblin or a drink goblin? Have you heard this?
No. Okay.
You know what I
and
mean?
you did mention wrong snacks. So I wonder
Yeah.
what would be right snacks for you.
There's nothing as depressing as somebody eating nachos sitting on the floor of a convention center. My breakfast, that's a standing meal. That's a walking, doing other things, like take a bite, put it back down, like do something, clean something up or whatever. Like it's not a ritual for me. But I'm telling you, we did it like adults.
Hello and welcome to the Dietitian Stable. Today we'll be talking with Dangilo, an entertainment professional and media personality who has been focusing on better hydration. We'll be covering caffeine, creating time to eat, and the joy of being a drink goblin. If you want to pull up a chair next, apply to be a guest on our website, thedietitianstable.com/apply. Hi, D'Angelo. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. I know we know each other, but just for that,
Yes. So we actually met at your wedding.
Yes, we did.
So we met at your wedding. We met in Lebanon, and then we went to your wedding in Cyprus. So my partner owns Balada Entertainment, which is actually where I work now.
Okay.
So I'm a creative director there and national sales manager. However that sounds. Basically, I tell people this is what you need at your party to have fun. So I think we met because your partner, your husband, was an intern for my partner years ago.
Yes.
And they kept this dialogue going. So Sam and my partner's Anthony and Sam. And so they kind of just kept in contact. And when we were invited to the wedding, Anthony was like, we totally have to do this. Why are we going to ever be on that side of the world? And it's Sam. So like, let's go. So we went out there and then we liked you more than Sam. No, just joking. We love you, Sam. So I remember we met you at your wedding, and then eventually you guys made the trip and you guys moved out here to the United States.
Yeah.
And so, which was really, really cool. And so it just kind of added to the family in a sense, So my whole family is all from the East Coast and the Midwest. So when I find like warm, good people out here is that you gravitate towards. And so so I work for Balada Entertainment, which leads to all the events. We did your baby shower.
You did my baby shower.
Yeah.
I know.
So we did your baby shower. I just remembered that.
It was at your place too.
Yeah. So we did all the little clouds and all those kind of things. But and then the other things that I do on the side are we have a podcast at Balada called Baladified, which is a event industry podcast focusing on the entertainment aspect of things. We have over 160 episodes underneath us, and we're not releasing as weekly as we used to. But now we're doing like twice a month drops and really good interview kind of guests and things.
I love that podcast, and I was one of the guests.
Yes, you were.
That was my first podcast introduction on how everything works, and
Nice.
I loved it.
Nice. And we're small potatoes compared to you guys have like a studio and all the stuff, and like we do everything via Zoom, quick and in and out, and like we drop the audios. And so I think we need to move to video at one of these points. But so we do that. And then through that, because I started Baladified with Anthony and doing that in the pandemic.
Okay.
So when there was nothing going on back in like 2020, I got online and started teaching myself how to self-produce content because everybody else in the world was, because we were all stuck at home. So I started doing this show called Bald and Bingeable.
Okay.
So, and it was an online TV show on Facebook, and it was on YouTube. And on Facebook, when we were doing it live, we were getting tons of views, and I was teaching myself like all the little bells and whistles. And then that spun off into, we can totally do a podcast for our company.
Yes.
And not have to constantly advertise ourselves, that if we were dropping content, then people would remember us. We'd also be giving flowers to the vendors and other partners that we were around with and letting them tell their story. So we have this nice, history of event professionals, that sometimes kind of gets lost, when you hear about these big companies and whatnot. So we started doing that. And then my podcast became an audio format because I was a one-man band. I didn't have a producer, nothing else. So on the Bald and Bingeable side of things. And I brought a guy on who was a doctor, is a gastroenterologist. I just learned how to say that word like a week ago. But he happens to also be gay. Go figure, I'm gay. I just talked about being with somebody named Anthony, but that's the truth. But so he came on the pod and he was doing this thing on TikTok where he was just kind of talking about gastroenterology, but from a gay man's perspective and being realistic with people's risk management and all those sorts of things. Yeah, it was really cool that he was doing this out there online. And so I brought him on the show and we opened it up to he's going to answer your questions. Okay. And we got 100 questions, out of nowhere, and all these people. And then when he came on, my listen spiked for that week. And so we also had just a really good rapport. So we started talking and we figured out there's something here. Let's get a podcast going. And it took us a year and a half, 2 years to actually put the foot on the pedal and actually push the gas. And we did. And so we have another show called But Honestly with Dr. Carlton and Dangilo. It is a not safe for work podcast. So it's something that you want to listen to with your earbuds on or with other adults in the room. But we talk it's an advice podcast about sex, love, dating, socializing, and butt stuff. Okay. So he's a gastroenterologist. So he's talking. So we answer questions every week, advice things from everybody from their sexual proclivities to hemorrhoids to cancer screenings, all those sorts of things. And so we're finding ourselves at this really great place right now. So we've been doing the show for about a year. We have a really nice, strong listenership, and we'll see what's going to be happening. I know that we're going to be moving into video here at some point. But
I love it. I love already how you started branching out, how you started and then how you're let me try to produce, let me do that. And then just seeing where it goes. And the podcast that you're doing with Dr. Carlton seems like a great idea because you want to help people and you want to create awareness and answer their questions. Because I feel like there's a lot of questions that when we get to the doctor's office, we're too shy to ask or
completely.
So offering that safe space is amazing.
It's just one of the things that we say constantly, because our podcast it can be very salacious. People want to call in with it's like the old love line from the 90s of people calling in and telling their dirty stories. Which gets us listens. But at the same time, there's a certain amount of, it's a sugar that helps the medicine go down, in that way of things. And so our podcast is about risk management in sexual situations, mitigating your risk and just knowing, what kind of vaccinations that you should have or how can you protect yourself other than using condoms and those sorts of things. And then we also have a really good thing that advocating for yourself is so important when you're with a medical professional. When that door closes, HIPAA laws come into effect, that you have somebody that you should, to get the best medical care that you possibly can, you have to be the most truthful that you possibly can. Yes, and so it's one of those things that we're constantly telling people on the pod.
Yes, I agree. And I'm always advocating for everyone, speak up. Tell them. They won't know unless you tell them. The medical professionals
Absolutely.
Or the healthcare professionals that are trying to help you. The more truthful you are, the better care you'll get because they'll know what's really the issue and the core issue that's bothering you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And just in mentioning all the little pieces and, because when you're with your doctor, it's just... when you're with your doctor is if you don't tell them what the issue is and you aren't completely candid about how you use your body and how you express yourself in situations. I'm being very, very clean so you guys can monetize for YouTube right now. So as I talk, but as that when you tell your doctor exactly what your situation is and give them a full zoomed out perspective, it really helps your care and it helps your aftercare in so many more dynamic ways, I think.
Yes, I agree. Totally agree. So what brings you in today? How's everything?
Everything is going pretty good. We're kind of like in a end of summer and now, just ramping up towards the fall. So yeah, so I'm kind of, we did Comic-Con yesterday.
How was that?
It was fun. It was different. I've only been twice. This is my second time in like the last 16 years that I've been living in San Diego. So it was a nice day. I went with one friend and we did it very much like adults. Okay. So like we went, took our car there, walked around, too much crowd, we'll walk the other way. And then for like lunch, we were seeing, because I know we're going to talk about food and whatnot. So what I was seeing that there's nothing as depressing as somebody eating nachos sitting on the floor of a convention center. And that's what I was seeing, like a random like Sonic the Hedgehog eating. And I was like, we cannot be these people. Where are we going to eat? So we figured out the Hilton Bayfront was a quick walk over. So we walked over, had a seated proper meal, which was very nice. And so I just want to report that to you that I did eat a proper meal yesterday in the middle of the craziness, but it was a fun day. So it was the last day of Comic-Con, very family oriented and whatnot, but yeah.
Now I understand what you meant by going as an adult to Comic-Con.
Yes, I was not gonna like just okay, let me just push through this crowd. Let me get a bunch of candy, that kind of a thing. It was just very much like let's go at our own pace, and if it was too much, let's back out. And visited a lot of like nice little artist booths and whatnot. But yeah,
I've personally never been, and I hope next year I'll be able to go because I feel like it's a fun experience.
It was a complete, like, my friend was like, hey, I have her partner actually is the executive sous chef at the convention center. No way. So yeah, so I think that's maybe how we got our connection with our tickets. And it was actually kind of cool because then I found out too, like how much food they're processing and how much food they're turning around there at the convention center. And then they also do these chocolate bars.
They have chocolate bars?
Yes. So the convention center, I don't know if it's San Diego Tourism Authority with the convention center, but they come out with 4 special, like, what do you call it? They're 4 different flavors specific to this year's Comic-Con. They have their own wrapper. It's like, and people line up for hours to get them. But since I knew the executive sous chef, I got a bag before I even went to the convention. Like I got a bag of, here's your 4 chocolates. It was perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how was the taste? How was it?
I've only tried one.
Okay.
And it was fantastic. It was a dark chocolate because I'm more in that like range of things more than a milk chocolate. But it did have, we're going to talk about this later, one of my favorite foods, and I know that we've enjoyed this out at like the zoo, but chips. Have you ever had chips in a chocolate bar? It'll change your life.
Chips in a chocolate bar? No.
Yes. So there was like actual potato chips in this chocolate bar, along with like, I think like almonds or something, but it'll change your life. I know that you like a baked Lay's like I do.
I think, it's a nice combination between the sweetness of the chocolate and the saltiness.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've actually made other people that go get me a chocolate bar with chips in it at work. It's like my midweek treat, but they don't carry them anymore locally.
So now we have to go to Comic-Con every time.
I think so. Or like, but now I know the chef, so I can just be like, make me one.
Or give me the recipe, but I don't think she'll give you the recipe.
Probably not, but yeah.
Yeah.
It was a fun time, and there's other ones Anthony will try later on. There's one with, it was like a white chocolate with like strawberry and crunch or something like that. So very indulgent, and so not something that I could even eat like in a single sitting because it's so rich. Like I have a friend whose mom used to always say, "It's so rich it'll make your teeth itch." And so when you like taste something like that, all of a sudden you're just like, it just overwhelms your taste buds. But then too much of a good thing, can be too much.
Enjoying in moderation.
Exactly. So I haven't eaten like a whole bar or anything, but the little tastes have been like my thing.
And how is it going to find the seating for lunch or for just?
It was kind of nice. So we walked around, we walked through, like, there was like, Hulu had like this, they have a new Alien television show. And so that was over on the one side that we saw that they had like an activation. And then the other thing this year was, and this is like a joke for people who know Comic-Con and whatnot. So even your producer might laugh at this, but they are really into making sure people are wearing deodorant with their costumes and whatnot.
Really?
So there was this huge Old Spice pop-up, smell like a hero. It was like, so we had to walk past that, and around the corner of that was this little restaurant that we were able to just go in, and they were like quick servicing. It was nice because the chef that her partner is, used to also work at that venue like years ago. So he knows the executive chef at the hotel there. So they told the executive chef that we were on our way over, so they didn't have any issues. So it was very spoiled. I'm telling you, we did it like adults. Like it was like we're not going to wait in line for that. No, we just have to go somewhere else. But we got in. It was quick, great service, and yeah, we ended up. I think I had a burger.
I was gonna ask, what did you have? Because now I'm curious.
Yeah, I had a burger with like a little side salad, like a Caesar salad, and then we had fries that we like that come in like in a cup, and they were crispy and great. So.
Is it those cone cups, the big cone cups?
No, it was like this little metal like tumbler. So it just, they put the fries in it that way. So, and then I have this weird thing that like my off switch. So if I had the fries just sitting there on a plate, I would eat all of them. But with this, when they put them in the little cone, after I get done with like the top level, then I'm usually like, okay, I should stop here. And so that's like kind of like where I was on my like little cone of fries, but like it was a cup of fries, but yeah. But that's the thing is like, I know I have to like impose my own like little, my own like little food game in the sense of like, okay, you're going to stop eating now because you're not hungry. You're just eating because it's in front of you. So that's what I had to do with the fries, because it was like you had a salad, you had a burger, you don't need all the French fries today.
So that's technically how you manage your food. You just self-talk, and do you check in with yourself to see if you're hungry, or do you just assume that because you ate that, then you're not hungry?
I think a lot of times, like, I am one who and then we'll talk seriously things. So I have general anxiety disorder. Okay. So I do manage that with, therapy, and I do, take Xanax. I do take medications and things like that to make sure that I can manage those things. But what that does is a lot of times my anxieties will manifest themselves right in my belly, right in my midsection. So
that's where you feel them.
That's where I feel them. So all of a sudden, like sometimes it's like, is your stomach hurt because you ate something bad, or does your stomach hurt because you're feeling something bad? So it's sometimes I have to kind of have that inner conversation with myself.
Yeah.
And so what I'll do as I eat is like in the mornings, I'm not a heavy morning food person. A lot of times I will just kind of eat more of like half of a sandwich. So like turkey on like toast, you know what I mean? And a lot of times I'm not doing that with any kind of like condiments. Like I'm not doing like a mayo or anything like that in the morning. So I'm a very just simple eat first thing.
Is it because you're busy and you need to start your day?
Busy, but I know I need to eat something just to like get myself going. But I don't want to eat a lot because I'm afraid I'm going to get a nervous belly. So that's the thing is so I have to like manage that. And then I usually will go and I'll have like a lunch, and my lunch is usually a pretty, I'll do like a sandwich, but I've started limiting myself to that just because of just knowing that like I don't need that much starch, that much bread. So, but I will like eat like, I'm really into these chicken bowls that are like now that we have at our little deli that's local, which is like chicken, beans, a little bit of rice, and some vegetables.
That sounds so good.
It's become like my favorite like little meal. And I think that like they're starting to make fun of me at the office now because it's like, oh, I'm going to get the chicken bowl again. And I'm having that like 2 to 3 times a week in the middle of the day instead of doing like a sandwich or a slice of pizza or like soups and that sort of a thing. But I'm a sandwich. Like that's my favorite food. People say like Italian or tacos. I like sandwiches. Any kind of sandwich. Give me 2 pieces of bread, cheese, something else in the middle. So I don't always have to have like a protein though in there, or like not like a meat product, you know?
Okay, yeah.
So I think that's like the Midwest in me, that you can get like a really good tomato from like outside at the garden.
Oh, yeah, that you freshly cut.
Yeah,
in your
freshly
sandwich,
cut. I can put that between like two things of toast and be happy, like, you know, like that kind of a thing. But so that's kind of my lunch. And then dinner is usually the one meal I get to share with my partner during the day, you know, because we're always moving and going and that sort of thing. And he is very regimented with dinner, that dinner requires a salad. Okay. Like you have to have some greens. You got to get something in there first. So it's usually some kind of a salad portion. And then I could eat chicken and rice every day, every evening. And because every culture does it, you can get Mexican, Indian, Thai, you can get some kind of chicken and rice.
The base is rice and chicken, yeah.
I can do that every day. He doesn't love that, because the thing is, then he gets bored. So there's usually, you know, it could be anything. He's Italian, so he wants to do, you know, like pizza or pasta and that sort of a thing. And then I'm usually like, okay, and I just, you know, kind of go with the flow if we're gonna get like the same kind of a meal. Then this way we're also on the same, like, almost like a food schedule. Like if he had a Mexican lunch, then he does not want Mexican in the evening.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing, is like if we both eat Italian today, then I know that we're not going to want it later in the week. But if we are on different things, then it's like, okay, well, we're not stopping at two places to go get food, or we're not going to make two different meals. Yeah. So you just kind of have to do that little compromise, that little dance with the food. But
well, it seems like you always find your balance with that, with dinner at least.
Trying to. Yeah. Like that's probably where I do find my most balance, because it is like a meal that I do stop and, you know, progress. Because I would say, as much as like my breakfast, that's a standing meal. That's a walking, doing other things, like take a bite, put it back down, like do something, you know, clean something up or whatever. Like it's not a ritual for me.
It's not something where you sit down, you have your breakfast, and then you start your day. You started your day as you're having breakfast.
Oh, totally.
Okay.
Totally. Because I have like, you know, there's a million things to do in the morning. And so I'm very much like I like a clean space, a clean house. I make my bed every morning. You know, you have like your routines. And so it's that. I have to walk the dogs. You know, there's just basic what's going on today kind of things in the house. We have people staying with us right now. So it's like, it's a lot of that, you know, just negotiating, you know, that part to set yourself up for like success for the rest of the day. So you're not thinking about, do I need to do a load of laundry? Do I have to do this? Like I try to get all that done in the morning so then I can like go about my day and not have that hanging over my head.
I feel like that would be the best way to go for to do, because I feel like I'm a morning person, so I get a lot of stuff done in the morning. And then if I leave stuff for the night, like laundry or anything like that, it does not get done.
It doesn't, or you're like begrudgingly doing it. Exactly. And I feel like then you're like, your quality of life just feels like, am I always working? You know what I mean? Yeah. So like you need to set yourself up for a time to just like power down. And so, and I've started, you know, there's like little boundaries that you set with yourself. Like, okay, I'm going to not touch my phone after this point, or, you know, I'm not going to put something on TV while eating and looking at my phone. Like, what are we doing here? Yeah. You know, it's too much. So.
And do you feel like because you're eating your breakfast in the morning and doing all of these things, that's why you may feel an upset stomach? Because you're not really focused and relaxed, you're also really active and doing a lot of things?
Sometimes I think it's more if I'm not actively getting myself prepared for the rest of the day, that's when I'll feel like the little bit like nervous kind of belly kind of a thing. Or if I don't eat, I often will see that, or if I don't eat anything, I kind of like tumble into the day, you know, that it's just kind of like I need to eat something to consume in the morning, but it's not like my favorite meal. It's not like something, it's like indulgent. It's just, it's fuel at that point. And that's kind of that point. So I don't know if it's so much that's why, you know, because a lot of times if I don't eat anything, I don't feel any belly things. You know what I mean? Like, and so a lot of times if I eat something heavy in the morning, then all of a sudden it's just body doesn't like kickstart the right way. Yeah.
It also depends on what you're eating in the morning. If you're used to eating something light, then yes, having a heavier breakfast and trying to do everything that you're used to doing may be more challenging for you.
It combats. It doesn't make sense to me, because I think a lot of times, like when you eat like a big meal, you feel like, okay, I need to go lay down or I need to stop,
I need a nap.
Exactly.
So what's been the most challenging for you?
For me,
I feel like you have kind of your routine in place.
I think the most challenging is just finding a little bit more balance with my diet on days where I am not able to just sit down for like lunch and things like that. Because like there's some days where you're so stressed and you realize it's 3:30 in the afternoon and you haven't eaten anything because you've just been going. You're answering an email, you're taking a phone call, you're working on something. And it's like, if you stop, then you're going to lose your momentum like a shark. You know what I mean? Like you just kind of have to keep on barreling through. And I do see that on days where I do give myself the permission to eat at a decent time, then I kind of have a little bit more push through my day, but, I do bring my dogs a lot to work. So,
nice.
So it's really nice. It's cute that I have that kind of flexibility in life. So it causes me like, okay, so I know that I have to like go get lunch and then at some point I have to walk them.
Okay. So you have like scheduled breaks technically because of
them. Yeah. If I don't have the dogs in house, I will work all the way through, usually sit there, eat a sandwich while I'm like typing with one hand, you know what I mean? That kind of a thing. So it does facilitate having a little bit more routine to make sure that I get up and do just to stand up, you know what I mean? So you're not just sitting the whole entire time. But I think in my diet, it would also just be, how do I want to say this? Like there's certain things that I know that I need to eliminate. And when I do eliminate them, that I feel so much better, So like, in the evenings, if I don't have any kind of soda, like I've also started getting rid of caffeine in my diet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel much better what happens when you drink caffeine?
When I drink caffeine, I don't have a task. If I don't have somewhere to burn that caffeine off, I will be anxious. Like
so it
adds to the anxiety. So that's the other thing is that I don't drink a full coffee in the morning. Like a lot of people, they like to have their full cup of coffee. I'm like 3-4 sips and then the rest is usually gone. You know what I mean? Like it's like Anthony makes a pot of coffee. Anthony's my partner. And when he does, it's like he has like 2 cups in the morning and he's off to the gym and blah, 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 blah. And I have like 3 sips and I'm out the door. Let's go walk the dogs. Like, because it's just, if I have more than that, I found myself at a place where I was like drinking coffee in the morning, then having an energy drink later, and then spiraling out, and it's like, why is everything? And it's like, oh, wait a second, you are stimulating yourself so much and not instantly burning it off, like if somebody, had a pre-workout and didn't go work out, they're going to have like the shakes almost. And that's kind of the place that I was sending myself was when I was, drinking caffeine all the time. And so, because I would be good to have like coffee in the morning, an energy drink during the day, maybe a Diet Coke later, and then I'm anxious or I'm not sleeping. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like,
oh my God, for sure.
Why am I not sleeping? It's 12:30 and it's like, yeah, because you've had so much caffeine. So I've instituted like little things like in my life to like kind of cut those kind of things down more. If I have like a really, really long day, that's like when I'll like indulge and be like, okay, I'm going to get the Celsius and the flavor that I like, But if it's a regular day, I have to moderate myself and just make sure that like, because I am more of a fan of like a diet soda more than a regular. And I know that's a bad thing.
It's a taste.
Yeah. It's the taste more than like the whole thought of like, I have to have a Diet Coke because it's diet, and, you know, or like Coke Zero because it's, you know, less sugar or whatever. It's just because I prefer the taste, you know, over the other thing. And so and that might be like the Midwest in me, like that creeps out of like, you know, there's certain things that you like learn out there, like Diet Coke's like a fountain soda was like the thing when I was in high school, you know, like in college, that, you know, you would get that from McDonald's, or I worked retail, and it would be like, you know, go to one of the fast food places and just go get a huge soda and not eat anything, and just be like, I'm great, I'm powering through the day. And then you're like completely a crazy person by the end of the day. Sure, yeah.
Well, then I'm wondering, where does water and hydration go into your day if you were drinking coffee and then an energy drink and Celsius?
I drink, at that time, I wasn't drinking as much water as I should, but like even here, I brought a water bottle with me today, you know, like I have my like little hydro kind of things, and I carry it all over the place. So I drink a lot of water now.
So you feel like since you started cutting that back on caffeine, you're drinking more?
More water?
More water?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely a lot more water. I appreciate it more. And then I also like the benefits of like your skin looks better.
Yes.
it's that
you
part.
Feel better too.
You do. And so my partner is one who's always like, you have to drink more water. But, you know, with my like little nervous, you know, midsection, that means you have to pee a lot. And so, and I don't want to be that person. So I have my daily ritual kind of things, you know, like, you know, I can take my water bottle with me and all that kind of thing. But then if I'm traveling, I know I dehydrate myself a little bit more than I should, but it's just because if I'm going to be on a plane, I don't want to get up 5 times during that flight.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So it's that kind of thing. So as soon as we like land, we're in the hotel, I'm like downing water bottles like a freak.
Like, I need to catch up.
Completely. And then plus you feel it, like your skin feels like it's all sunken in. Oops, sorry. But you feel like your skin is all sunken in. You feel just completely depleted, you know, that when you don't have water, you don't have a lot of energy, I feel.
Yes, for sure.
So I do feel that.
And caffeine also dehydrates. So even if you were still drinking that much caffeine and drinking water, well.
Yeah. But I know that I just had to cut it out because of like just the mental part of it, the mental health part of just spiraling out, and just your mind is going, and you're cycling through all kinds of things, and you're feeling like, you know, anybody who suffers from any kind of depression or OCD or anxiety, they know that like when you don't have enough in you, or when you have too much stimulant in you, then your mind just starts to go it pings so many different places.
Yeah, all over the place. Well, it's a good thing that you were able to pinpoint that and say, okay, the issue is caffeine, let's cut back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was a big deal. I think I figured that out really like 6 months ago.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was like September, October last year. And it was like, okay, we have to cut back because we're just finding ourselves like just needing to stop all the time and check in. And it was like, I can't live like this, you know, just because I like the flavor of a Celsius or like that. So it was like, cut it out.
You just stopped everything? Or did you do it gradually?
More cut just about everything out pretty quickly. I have done that in the past where I found that I would get headaches. So, you know, like when it came to that, it was like once I had, you know, like the fan of Costco, once I had the last can in the pack, it was like, okay, we're not buying another pack. Yeah. We're done. We're not doing this anymore. Cause it was like this high, you know, caffeine situation. And then, in the mornings, I'm not a big coffee drinker. I like the stuff in coffee. Like I like a good, like flavored something, but like a regular black coffee, it's not for me. Yeah. You know, it's not part of my taste palette. I talked about eating chocolate bars a minute ago. Like, it's like, that's not, you know, like coffee can be bitter, you know, and it can be good, but you have to make it so perfectly, you know.
Yeah, you have to find the right combination of flavors and everything.
That, and then make sure it's not on the pot for too long, and it doesn't get burnt, you know, because coffee can have that bittery taste if it's been out for too long and that kind of thing. So it's never been like my kryptonite, so to speak.
I like it. I really enjoy a good cup of coffee, but I just have one cup in the morning and then I'm good to go. Just like to get things started, get my day started, and then I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is like, I just like a couple sips in the morning, but you know, like I will love a Diet Coke is great. Like if you're going to be eating like a burger with friends and that kind of a thing, that's like when it's like, you look for that burn, like that feeling, you know.
It goes well with the meal too. It's not like you're just having a Diet Coke.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of like stopped on that side.
And you drink it occasionally when you're having a burger and fries?
Yeah.
Mostly.
On that side of things, I do, I always have my bottle of water. And then have you heard of this thing that people say, a beverage goblin or a drink goblin? Have you heard this?
No.
Okay. So it's like this thing where somebody always has 3 drinks at their desk or 3 drinks at the ready. So it's like, usually it's a caffeinated something, like, and then a bottle of water and then something else random, you know? So it's like always like a girl with her Stanley cup and then a bottle of water and then like her Diet Coke or something. And so I'm that kind of a person through the day, is that like I have like my big bottle of water, but then like I want like a juice, or I'll want, you know, like a Sprite or something like that. Like I need like some other flavor in my mix of like water and everything else that I'm doing, which is also why I have to use the bathroom every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's that kind of thing that, you know, I'm always, you know, drinking something. Yeah. There's always like some kind of consumption going on.
Does it keep you busy? Do you feel like it's a way for you to keep your hands busy as you work? Because you did mention different types of beverages, so I was just wondering.
Sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's almost like, you know, variety is a spice of life, and I just need like it's almost like a little treat. Like, oh, I finished that phone call, I'm going to have a sip of Sprite now. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of thing that you like, you know, give yourself like a little reward. Maybe that's very Pavlovian of me, but I don't know. Like,
well, it works. If this is something that works for you, then that's fine.
Yeah, that I think does work. And then also too, is it just limits me snacking. You know, because that's the other thing is that I could snack all day long and like on the wrong things. Like, so I'm more, you know, we buy our fruits and our like little veggies and that sort of a thing, but I'd rather have the gummy bears, you know what I mean? So if I have something else to kind of supplement that little bit of a sugar jolt, you know, that sugary buzz, then that's what I do, you know, instead of getting like a whole pack of gummy bears and eating those in one sitting at my desk.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like have this and that, but yeah.
And also you may think that maybe you want a snack because you didn't eat enough for lunch or enough for breakfast, and that's why you feel like you're hungry after a few hours. So
I don't know. I like maybe, you know, and then sometimes I think it's just that compulsion to like just you want to eat sometimes. Like you just the something else going on. I don't know.
Yeah, there for sure. The something else may be like external cues. You smelled something. Your coworker opened their lunchbox, or you know. So sometimes you're just cued by smell or sound or something going on around you that makes you want to eat something, and then you feel like your mouth is watering, and you're like, wait,
I really need a gummy bear. Like, you know, I think. On that side of things, is that it's just like it's an impulse to just want something extra. When I really think about it, I think it's the accessibility to it. You know, that if it's easy to get to, then I'm going to eat it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And you did mention wrong snacks, so I wonder what would be right snacks for you. So
on the right snack side of things is like, especially like when I'm at home.
Yeah.
And I don't have to like prepare, like when I can just grab, is that like we have like cocktail cucumbers that I like love grabbing. And And then I'm also like a fan of like berries, like, you know, like blackberries and blueberries, or we have like grapes. And then sometimes they have like the special, you know, cotton candy grape, you know, that kind of a thing when there's like a different variety of something.
Yeah.
And so I'm always like you know, I'm into the hype. Like I want to know what is going on. What is everybody into? So like I'll buy, you know, what's called the apples that are supposed to taste like pineapple or something like that. You know what I mean? Like you see those kind of things and like, okay, I'll do that.
We need to try that.
And I find that is probably better than grabbing a bag of Doritos or my bag of gummies that I love, or, you know, or even like the chocolate bar kind of thing. I think that's kind of like, that's where I find myself that's like a better snack option is usually if it's a little bit more, if it's not coming out of a package.
Okay.
Maybe that's probably the best way to say it is that
so
if
it's fresh,
if it's fresh, if it's something that's not processed is usually a better snack option. And I know that, but often I'm like, give me the easy thing. You know, like I will take the nerd clusters, please. You know?
Well, I have a suggestion. Why don't you do both?
Okay.
Why don't you try to get your pineapple apple and your gummy bears?
Okay.
That way you'll have both. You won't feel that frustration that you're eating the fresh fruit instead of having your gummy bears that you love. And also you'll avoid eating the whole bag of gummy bears because you'll have a bit of this and a bit of that.
True.
What do you think?
I think that works. Because I know that you know, like I bring like the little orange cuties with me to work. Yeah. And I know if I have those, that I'm more apt to eat one of those than to grab a whole bag of gummy bears, you know? And so then I only eat like 3 of the gummies and then a whole, you know, the whole orange, that kind of thing. But I think that's something I need to do more, you know, is give myself that option of having something healthy with me. Yeah. But when you're at work, you know, sometimes it can feel really difficult to like have the access to it.
Why don't you try that this week? Do you feel like you're up for that challenge? Just trying to combine those 2 snacks that you love both. It's not like you like one less than the other, but just trying to combine them together and having them together and see how that does and how that does it make you feel.
Yeah, I'm totally down to try that.
Okay.
It almost sounds like I should have like a fruit and gummy salad.
Why not? Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah, no. But we'll see. Like, yeah, like I think that's something that I need to do more actively, you know, and then prepare that stuff kind of thing for myself.
And yes, and that way that could remove this anxiousness that you're eating your cuties, but you're also eyeing the gummy bears. So you remove that guilt and frustration feeling by having them both together. So
True.
It might help with the anxiety in general.
Yeah, I think so.
Thank you for joining us today at the Dietitian's Table. If you have a story to share, apply to be a guest on our website at thedietitianstable.com/apply. Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. You can find video of this and every episode on our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook and TikTok at The Dietitian's Table or on Instagram at The Dietitian's Table Podcast. Lastly, let us know what you would like to see on our social media channels and how we can best support you. Thank you again, and we'll catch you in the next episode.